What added value does hospitality bring to non-hospitality businesses?
A lot. You have daily examples where you can say the principles of hospitality, the search of service excellence, you can't see it everywhere. Okay, it's a utopia to think that you can see it everywhere. But let's take an example. Not so long ago, I was interested in buying a car. I go to a car dealership, and we go there. We didn't go there at 9 o'clock, but we went at 9:30ish. We walk around. All the cars were closed in the dealer showroom. All the cars were closed. Okay, so we walk. We see nobody. The doors were open, we see nobody. We see 3 people behind the window, blah, 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 blah. And we stand there and nobody comes. So I asked myself, what's the point of a dealership? What's the point of a showroom? So we leave. Nobody asked anything. We leave. And then I called back around 11. I said, can I talk to the guy, managing the showroom? And the guy, okay, sir. And then I asked him, what's a showroom for? Said, well, to show the cars, and they were closed, couldn't. And then I saw 3 people, they didn't interact, stay there for 20 minutes, nobody. And then he said to me, oh, maybe your motivation to buy the car was not high enough. Wow, so it's now my problem. Yeah. Okay, so I was interested, I go there, nobody cares. Maybe it's the arrogance of that brand, I don't know. But it's wrong, and it's not their fault because somebody has not shown them or told them what's the importance of good customer service. They lost a car that day because they had a great promotion. I was willing to buy one. I did.
So you bought another one.
So I bought another one. And it happens all the time.
And they lost the customer.
And it happens all the time. And it happens in car dealerships. It happens in hospitals. It's not wrong people, but it's just that they don't pay attention. And I can give you many, many, many examples. Let's keep to the car dealership, but you can apply the principles of hospitality, of seeing your customer as the one that is important to you and what he likes and what he doesn't like. You can apply that to many, many other industries.
And Jochen, why now?
Well, why now hospitality? There's a why and a now, so it's 2 different questions. So why, I think figures show. For example, there's a study of the 500 biggest companies in the US, the S&P 500, between 2007 and 2017. And those companies excelling in client experience have a 70% higher return, profitability. So I think that's impressive. There are also other studies, and ourselves, we have been exposed to cases, for example, for banks, where it was indicating that those with a high net promoter score, so with a good customer service, they have a higher return on assets, which is an important KPI on bank profitability. So I think that explains the why. And also, for example, if you see the Apple stores, they are based on 4 Seasons model, on an elevated experience. And I have been told it's one of the most profitable retail stores in the world, the Apple store. So that explains, I think, the why. But I think the now is more important as a question, or more interesting at least. And the last 5 to 10 years, especially after COVID, we have gone through some turbulent changes, especially in the digital area. So if we see the social media has grown in importance, the omni-channel, digital profilization of a company. So I think the companies use this platform more to do the storytelling, to tell who they are, to share their identity, to share their brand. And this is important, for example, for the generations Y and Z, who are very focused on the brand or values, etc. So I think that has become important as well. There is now the AI coming up with ChatGPT and other applications, optimization on the one side, and the other side, how to deal it to still become client focused with emotion, to have still the human touch to it. So those are all kind of questions a company these days has to ask, and I think from the perspective of hospitality, you can find a lot of answers to that.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Okay.
See, the use of tech, digital has been at the forefront of people's minds. Okay, so companies switch to tech, switch to chat boxes, etc. And like he said, and what we discovered is a lot of these solutions are not made or created from the customer's perspective. They're created from the company. We want to sell. We want to sell this way, not that way. But then when the customer has a question, he's in the desert, can't reach anybody, doesn't find his answer, etc. And to find the telephone number or the contact form on some websites, it's extremely difficult. Why? You know, why? Why make it complicated for people to interact? It's like saying to somebody coming at reception, oh, you can't talk to me. You know, we don't do that in our jobs because the customer is there and then can't run away. You have to do something. And that's what we want to do, really, you know, is bring back that customer focus and say, okay, what it is you're doing, is it done for the customer?
So, and that brings us to how does hospitality brings together people, processes, and the product around the customer?
Mentioned it before. It's the 3 Ps. Okay, it's a big notion, but it's really making them work from a certain angle. Now, we'll talk later about who is the customer, because that's also very important, is to say, okay, guys, who is my customer? And the customer is not always the guy coming from outside buying my service or my product.
Yeah, it's everyone in the company.
It's actually everyone in the company, but more than that, today the shareholder is a client, customer, the government in somehow, society, etc. But first and foremost, it's the colleague, my boss. I am delivering services for my colleague. How can, we worked for banks, but how can a clerk in a bank propose a good mortgage dossier to a customer if in the background the work hasn't been done properly, or if they haven't checked? And sometimes you end up having a faulty file or a missing information, and you have to give this to the customer. It doesn't work. Whereas you could have solved the problem, making the customer happy. That's hospitality. Is giving a moment of joy to the people you are interacting with.
To pick on it, so with the 3 Ps, the processes, products, and people. I would like to share some case examples that we did we have been speaking about banks, which was a best practice, I think. We visited a retail bank in order to define the client experience for that bank. It was a big bank. On site to see how they treated the customer, how they were welcomed, etc. What's the atmosphere? It was a smaller bank, 12 to 15 people, but they were successful, and the corporate office indicated us that bank as an example. And when we were there and we felt a bit the atmosphere, how vibrant it was, what was remarkable was, in fact, it were very good colleagues with another, very good connection also from the leadership. The manager was very humble, willing to help with administrative tasks towards the customers, supportive for the team, drink in the morning together a coffee. Everyone felt very welcome, and all the employees were already working since 20 years, never looked for any other job. They were very happy coming to there. And that explains a bit the 3 Ps, like you start with happy employees, you get happy customers, and at the end you have the happy employer.
And happy clients as well.
Yeah. The consequence
Absolutely. With the chain,
See, that's the problem with some companies. Profit is seen as the objective, and a happy customer is a consequence. I would like to see happiness of the customer being the objective and profit as a consequence. And that's how it really is,
Yeah.
So in the relevance across the industry, I have one more question. Which hospitality principle bring the fastest results on other sectors?
Customer attention. Customer attention is what I think would bring the fastest results, is really giving people a little bit more time. I know time is money. To interact with the customer, to give more attention to the customer. That for me is a fast win. No.
For me, it's empathy for the customer. And empathy, it's maybe a bit soft word, or it's very vague, but if you translate it to corporate terms, empathy means understanding the customer. Empathy means communicate in the proper way to the customer. Empathy means conveying emotions. Empathy means being proactive to what might go wrong, being responsive. So empathy is quite a big term, but it entails a lot of elements to it.
You said it's a small word, but it contains a lot.
Absolutely. And as a result, like customers, they have feelings. They might forget your words, but they will not forget how they have been treated. So as such, I think that's an important one. Yeah.